Hello everyone and welcome to a full review of the Minecraft Dungeons Heartbreaker Sword.
Sorry, Heartstealer.
I think this thing's pretty cool. I'm a big fan of melee, like the new D&D sword that just came out, or old classics like the Marauder sword. Is this even all in frame? So big. I love melee. And what's really unique about this, and what made me do more than a short, is that this is melee that also fires a dart. So I think that is very, very unique. And very, very cool. Franchise license stuff can be a bit of a mixed bag for me. It depends, I guess, on my attachment to the franchise, which is normal. That's why I don't mind the Fortnite stuff. I play a lot of Fortnite stuff with the boys. It's kind of fun. The Roblox stuff, I have pretty much no interest because I have no Roblox experience. Minecraft is somewhere in the middle. I've done a bit of that with the kids. There is kind of a thing I say with the kids since a young age, they could figure out anything in Minecraft, and then putting like a simple physical object from the real world in front of them, they would struggle to figure it out. And I would jokingly say, it's like Minecraft. You can do it. And they hate that. But I did it, and it's a fun thing that we would say. So I have a little bit more attachment for Minecraft. I think it looks cool. Let's open this up and check it out. I should mention before we do open it, this was about $35 from EB Games here in Canada on the East Coast. Which is maybe a little steep, but what are you gonna do? It's got a lot of big logos on it, so it's going to be expensive. Nothing else in the box. We have our 4 darts. And then we have our sword that I want to take out without damaging. Yoink. Alright, I'll unwrap this. This looks cool. I'm going to say, and I mean, this is just me. Yeah, this is just me being silly. It's the exact length of the box. It feels shorter in person. I mean, that's photography. Or I guess in this case, a rendering. It feels a little bit shorter than I was expecting. That's not really a fair thing to say, I guess, because I guess it's just a trick of the angle. But all right, let's get to it. So our blade is actually foam. So that's cool. These cross pieces here are not foam, but they're like a rubberized handle. I do appreciate that they're a different... Actually, this whole kind of cross guard here is actually more of a rubberized material. So that's kind of cool. That's kind of a nice middle ground between having it all foam. And then the plastic itself is a... Sorry, the handle itself is a more traditional plastic, and this piece is a more traditional plastic. I do feel like this would be fine. You could bop people with it. It is a foam melee weapon. That's kind of cool. It has a trigger on here for firing. This box had a really weird... Yeah, it had a really weird diagram on it for how to load it, where it says pull back, insert dart, pull back, and then it has an arrow with 180 degrees and then fire. I don't know what the 180 degrees is. I guess I'll find out. Let's load in a dart. Cool. Let's pull it back. All right, we don't push it back in. Oh, wow, that was pretty snappy. I don't know what the 180 degrees is. Oh, maybe on the illustration they were talking about, maybe they were showing it one way and then showing it another. But it doesn't look like that, though. Does anyone else understand what what the rotate 180 degrees means? I don't know. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because this was simple enough to fire, and you know what? It was actually pretty snappy. That's pretty cool. This handle is not very comfortable, and it is pretty slippery. It's a shame that the whole handle wasn't this rubbery material. Like, how much more would that have possibly cost to do? And then we would have had something not super slippery. Size comparison with that D&D sword or dagger or short sword that just came out, you know, it is definitely shorter than that. Make sure you guys can see. It's kind of less of a sword and more of a long dagger, but pretty cool nonetheless. I'm liking that it just has this simple dart firing thing on the side of it. It doesn't poke out too far. It probably has some sort of like tube that goes from the barrel here down to plunger down in here, so it's like a little bit offset. I always dislike when you prime something and it sticks out. I know that's kind of the cheap way to do it. I get it. I'm pretty impressed. I want to see some chronograph numbers and see what we're getting. But my whole dream with this is to have this in my left hand as kind of a secondary weapon, and then have something I can operate one-handed, like a flywheeler, in my right hand. Like, here's a silly combo. Worker Nightingale in one hand, and last ditch foam melee sword in the other. That would be some pretty cool dual wielding, I think. I like putting melee in my games a lot, so I think this is pretty cool. It's a little bit expensive, but it's super cool. I love that extra functionality. I would love to see some Final Fantasy swords that actually incorporate blasters into them. That'd be cool, because, you know, you had those big Final Fantasy gun sword type things. I guess those are in other bits of anime as well. But I'm gonna fire this again. This is pretty fun. Oh, I hit my chronograph right on the end. Let's show you guys what it looks like to fire it. All right, some POV footage. We load our dart in here. We prime. And we aim. So I'm just going to point the tip of the sword at my target. Let's see how I do. Not bad. A little high. I was actually trying to compensate. I like this. This thing's awesome. Might take me a couple tries. Oh, that's going to be weird because I'm sticking... What am I thinking? I'm sticking the thing over. So, oh, this is going to be a little bit tricky to get chrono readings of, actually. I'm going to have to fire it from back farther than I usually would. And I hit the chrono. I'll leave all this in for your entertainment. All right, 51. Doesn't feel like 51. 64. 70. I think it's pretty safe to say, I think that first one was an outlier. I think this is hitting Nerf par for sure. There you go. If you like the goofier side of Nerf, I definitely recommend this one. This is pretty fun to plink around with and just like point the tip of your sword at something and fire. I kind of wish it wasn't Minecraft themed, because I just think it would be such a cool LARP weapon. You know, it's an enchanted weapon that's throwing out a flame or an attack, you know? The fact that it is Minecraft themed takes away from that a little tiny bit for me, but very, very cool. It makes me want to go back. Well, I wouldn't do it to this. This is, I only have one, and this is not exactly easy to come by. But it makes me want to go to a more traditional one like this and like strap a jolt onto the side of it or onto the crossguard and integrate it in. This is just really fun to use, which you can tell because I keep using it while I'm chatting about it, which I shouldn't. Lay it like this. You don't really, yeah, you can't, firing it like that's kind of uncomfortable, but you don't have to. You can just kind of just point your sword tip at it. It's not meant to be, you're not sniping with this, you know? I mean, I guess you could. This would be a cool thing as well to like create some sort of bayonet attachment for. That would be super cool to have this as a foam bayonet that also is almost like a Proud Papa type thing, like with a regular elite dart, but still. This thing is getting a lot of imagination points. Like, just imagine you get your big bayonet, a little bit of duct tape. Boy, that mod basically finishes itself. If you can handle the $35 and you don't mind the look of it, this is pretty cool. Nerf, I hope you do this to some more classic foam melee stuff. Like, I know we have some new D&D foam stuff coming out with this short sword, and there's an axe coming out. Keep it rolling. Melee is a good time. It's a good thing to integrate in. There's nothing like someone running out of ammo or running out of ammo yourself and still being able to sneak up and bop somebody. And now you can bop, or, I had a good line. Now you can bop or pop. That's why I wanted to do it again. I hope you guys enjoyed a little bit more long format for this. I'll probably do a short as well. But, you know, I'm going to try to make a point this year to slow down a little bit, take some time with things that I think are cool, to gush about them and talk about them a little bit more. I also kind of wish this little handle bit at the end, I wish this bit was rubbery just for pulling on it, but I'm nitpicking mostly. It's kind of an interesting thing because the quality of this and this is really high, and then it feels like it's kind of cheap out on the handle and the priming handle. Like this doesn't feel very sturdy and that feels really hollow. And the button's not textured or anything to fire it. Kind of a weird mix of like really high quality and premium and not. But it doesn't really take away. This is, I would say, a pretty fun product. If you enjoyed this and you enjoyed seeing a little bit longer form, there's more to come. I have a bunch of Nerf Elite Junior blasters, and I'm going to talk about those because unlike a lot of people in the hobby space, which I get in the hobby space, who aren't as excited about those, I think they look cool. I think there is a place for them. I'm excited about them for running games with smaller kids and stuff, so, and community stuff too. Until next time, I wish I had one more dart to fire. I just want to keep firing this. Until next time, I'm Anthony Stewart, Maritime Foam, and I'll talk to you soon.